Greetings, all you amazing people. So, I did a live stream. You were watching some videos. And one of those was a Christian's Tech video. And he mentioned that nobody liked logging into Windows. They were like, oh, I have to deal with Windows and all that shit. I'm going to burst your bubble. I actually really like Windows. I also like Linux. I also like macOS. I like Linux this much better or more than Windows. And before you go totally batshit crazy and whatnot, and you're like, what are you talking about? Microsoft is bad and blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't like Microsoft. I hate Microsoft. But I like Windows. I like the technology behind Windows. I like the kernel. I like what Windows or what the developers are trying to make Windows do. I don't like what Microsoft is trying to make Windows do. I have a kind of like a distinguished path where Microsoft the company, and then there is the Windows division or the Windows department and whatever you will call it. And what the CEO and bosses are doing with Windows, and what the developers and what the the ecosystem people are doing, the people doing all of this, the Office people. Didn't I install Office? I don't think I installed Office, but what I was about to say, what the Office department wants to do, and what the kernel developers want to do, what UI developers want to do, and stuff like that. You see that within their products. But then you also see the telemetry, you see the data collection, you see, the subscriptions and stuff like that. That's not, the code monkeys that are doing that. That's the department heads, or not even the department heads, the board of directors and stuff like that. That's the one that I don't like. But I do like all of the amazing people at Microsoft that are working on Windows, Office, all of these technologies that are really, really good. But here's the thing, they're getting paid by someone, and no someone have requirements. They're like, yeah, we will allow you to do this if you also implement these things. Subscription-based, blah, 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 whatever you will call it. Or you need to go premium to do that. Don't sit here and think that the developers are the one advocating for the telemetry, the data collection, the subscription and stuff like that. The developers for Microsoft, just like the developers that are developing Linux, they want to do cool shit. They want to make a great system. They want to give you a great system. And Windows is an amazing system. It has a lot of great things going for it. It has a lot of technologies that in some instances are more advanced than Linux or even macOS. They have a lot of things going for it, and then Linux have a lot of things that they are more advanced on, and the same with good old macOS. They all are trading blows with each other, and I don't want the Danish side, I want the American side. Can I just do this? Nope. You get what I'm coming at here. And I feel that a lot of people, especially the good old Linux people, they are like, we hate Windows because telemetry and data collection and blah 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 blah. But they don't know what Windows can do. They don't really know what Windows really is anymore, because some of them have not run Windows since Windows 7 or something like that. Some of them don't even want to go in and see what is going on with the Windows. And if you go and kind of put a path between what is the corporate side of Windows, the board of directors and the CEO, and let's make a shit ton of money, versus this is what the development team wants, this is what the Microsoft Windows department want. They are, of course, different, but you also see that they actually care about what they are doing. But again, just like you go to work, you will get like, you could go to work and your boss is like, you know what? Go fucking, unclog the toilet. I just made a big shit. Unclog the toilet. And you could be like, no, I'm not going to do that. And you will probably not have a job anymore. Or you can be like, well, for me to have this amazing job where I'm doing these amazing things, sometimes I have to do and agree with shit I don't like or don't want to do. That's part of the job. And for a lot of these people here, the people developing Windows, working for Windows, making all of these documentations, the Windows department, the Office department and stuff like that, for the most part, putting telemetry and data collection into Windows for them is like unclogging the toilet the CEO just fucking clogged with a massive dunk. We all have aspects of our job that we don't like. Nobody have a job where everything they do is, oh my god, it's the best thing in the world. We all are doing something or have some form of task in our work day or work week or work month we don't like. It could be going to a specific meeting, it could be doing a specific task, it could be dealing with specific people. But we still do it because we like everything else. And that's why I like Windows. Because Bob and Josephine, Amy, you know, whatever you will call them, sitting in their cubicle and developing all of these technologies here, they are not the one that wants, you know, data collection and all that shit. That's, you know, the CEO, the board of directors and all that fucking shit that want to be basically Google. The people making these training courses, the people that are working on AI, machine learning, UI design, they want you to have a fucking amazing experience. They want you to have a great operating system to run. But to do that, they need, you know, of course, to get paid. And some of the ways they're getting paid is, well, Microsoft wants to sell you data. That's like what everyone is doing nowadays. So they want to go on to the bandwagon. So they want to sell your data. So someone is getting tasked with doing that thing. What pisses me off is a statement like what Chris Tiles Tech said, oh, nobody really wants to use Windows. Yeah, I actually like using Windows. I like the Windows ecosystem. I like, you know, messing around with everything Windows related, just like Linux and Mac OS. I'm an operating system nerd. I like it. What I don't like is the stupid decisions that the top of the company is making and forcing other people to do. That I don't like. This dude here, he's the issue. He's the one you should be mad at. The little code monkeys sitting in their cubicle and doing their thing. They're just doing what they're being told, while also wanting to make you cool shit. They care about Windows. If you really want to be angry or criticizing someone or something, it's not Windows. Windows as an operating system is just doing what the humans programming it to do want it to do. Windows is not this autonomous entity that just automatically say, oh, I am Windows, I want telemetry, and then put it in. No. Windows operating system software pieces of code is only doing what this guy and his, you know, controlling people are telling it to do. They are making a decision, going down the chain of shit into the little person in the cubicle and say, build this one. There is a lot of things Windows do better than any other operating system in the world. There's also a lot of things it don't do better than other operating systems in the world. But if you want a coherent, well knitted together, well streamlined system that allow you to do work and not making your computer ready to do work, Windows is probably on the top tier, with Mac being the top tier, then Windows, maybe Haiku and stuff like Linux, and FreeBSD is like low tier fucking doing that. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but Linux has a lot of issues with just getting things, just, you know, getting to do work. You know, I just want to do work. If you just want to sit down and do work, Windows and Mac OS is the two systems or OSs in the world that will allow you to do that. But you have some trade-offs. That's the telemetry, the data collection, the batshit crazy administrative control or the direction that the people in power of those systems are directing the operating systems in. That's the trade-off of it, sadly enough. Don't used to be like that, but it is right now. Everyone wants to be Google. But if you just want to install an operating system and then install a code editor or a video editor or a photo editor and just get things to work really easy, really fast, and have all of these amazing tools here that talk with each other, that have like an ecosystem with each other, and it's just all connect, you know, unification to some degree. Windows and Mac OS, but we're talking Windows right now, is beating the living shit out of Windows and BSDs and whatnot. Oh, sorry. Beating the shit out of Linux and BSDs and whatnot. We don't have stuff like this under fucking Linux. I still like Linux better, but I also like Windows. When I used to main Linux in the 2000 from 2000 to 2008, where only time I used Windows was at work. I was actually happy that I didn't use Linux at work, because I get to use another operating system. I got to use something different. I got to see how someone on the other side of the aisle or river or country did something that that Linux is doing. I got to see how Linux is doing this thing and how Microsoft Windows is handling this thing. Closing yourself down to not exposing yourself to all of these different ecosystems, different technologies, different methods, different ideas, you start to become into a closed off garden, basically, of ideas and opinions that are not being challenged because you're not challenging yourself with exposing yourself to something opposite. So I love Windows, but I also love Linux, and I also love Mac OS. And of all of those three, I love Linux the most, or favor Linux the most. Do I bitch and moan about Windows? Yeah. Do I bitch and moan about Mac OS? Yeah. Do I bitch and moan about Linux? Yeah, you probably see my videos. We all bitch and moan about a lot of things. That don't mean that we don't like using them, because nothing is perfect. If you're running Linux and you have never had any issue or any reason or any time where you were just frustrated with fucking Linux, if you never had that, you have not used Linux. The perfect system never will or do exist. I've been opening and closing a lot of shit while I'm talking here, and all of this is why I like Windows. I'm showcasing some things that to me is amazing with Windows. Mostly it's the integration of the Windows apps that comes with Windows. OneNote, Office, and blah blah blah, you name it. Like I even like the Microsoft account. I honestly do. I don't like that they are forcing it onto you. 1000% with you on that one. But I do fucking like it. I see a lot of use case forward at work having a Microsoft account. For anything else, if you're a hardcore Linux user, you should love Windows because it gives competition to Linux, meaning that Linux needs to work harder to become better to compete with Windows. And you know what? That will give you a better Linux system. Been a Linux only guy for over a decade showed me that when I started to use Windows again, how stupid that was for me, for my brain, for my view on things, and how clueless I became towards anything not Linux. See you all later. Bye bye.